Light Shall Conquer, the short story is called Unicorn Man.
I think when I found a picture on the internet of a unicorn man, this guy in a pink dress with hooves for hands and lots of glitter on his face and this big ass horn sticking out of his forehead. It was a really disturbing image, and that's where when I got the idea for the Unicorn Man, which is the story of Light Shall Conquer.
So I make a whole lot of notes about how the serial killer should behave and what his modus operandi will be. This one, I think, came from the fact that I wanted to talk about someone who went to great lengths to ensure that if he wanted to create something, and in this case it was a movie, if he wanted to create a movie, and he was such a perfectionist that he wanted the characters in his movie to look as real as possible. And if that involved him changing the appearance of a human being to look like a creature, then he would do that. That's where that's where the idea began. And then I said, hey, if it's a guy who's making fictional stories, could I create a character and a universe around that character? And that's where art came in. I think when I saw art, for some reason, there's the Tarsem Singh movie called The Cell. I forget the actor, but the person who plays the mind that Jennifer Lopez goes into, that character, when his body is completely white, that character kept playing in my head, and that's where it started, where I visioned the characters and what they would look like, and I decided to talk about them in the story, and I describe each of the characters in detail because I saw them in my head in a specific way.
Baba bought the riff, the song in, definitely the flow of the riffs and what the mood of the song was. He bought that in.
Typical Baba song, man. Really riffy, enjoyable riffs. You can just eat them up.
After seeing this documentary called Until the Light Takes Us, which is a Norwegian black metal documentary. Personally, I was in a bad shape, and watching that documentary just made me lose my shit. So I took a break, went out for a smoke, came back and wrote this song in one sitting. It was just done. I remember, just like Seasons, it was quite very, very quick to just sit and write the song out.
The intro of Light Shall Conquer is just 5 different voices saying "Away with your human form." I think it's a very, very strong beginning to any song.
Lyrically, I stuck to the original idea of translating the story into the lyrical content of the song, but the latter half of the song had. I decided to put the dialogues directly from the short story into it in that deep voice that I thought Art's voice would be.
We realized that the ending section of the song was not as powerful as maybe how it began. So we didn't write it. We said we'll figure this out. This was while the recording process was still on. So we had kept it aside, and we said let's just jam over it and figure out what this song is all about. And there was one section, which is the second riff, where Aditya said, "Don't play it like you're playing." I was doing a general hammer-on, and he said, "Make it a slide." There was one section in between that I look back now and I don't even know how and what were we thinking when we decided let's write it, but we wrote it and it turned out great. I listen back to it now and it's a straight up progressive rock part. Like, I mean, I've heard maybe Neil Peart play a groove like that somewhere, or I've heard Mike Portnoy play a part like that, and it's not the sensibilities. It's not. I mean, I love all these drummers and I love their styles and I've studied all of it, but I never bought it to BM. I never bought those sensibilities here.
I think I remember Baba playing the chorus and then going into a separate set of chords which were in a different key. So I remember suggesting to him that maybe we should try the same chorus but put it in a different key, and like a change in key, like is something very much influenced by my favorite 80s bands like Mr. Big and Bon Jovi. They had this thing where they would sing the chorus in a certain key and then take it up higher when it comes the last time. And we kind of tried that, and we managed to kind of pull it off.
The parts, they weren't hard, but actually when we sat down to track it, we realized they are hard. It's just that we had gotten so comfortable with each other that they didn't seem hard. Like, it was a song, so we would be able to execute whatever we had to.
The songs have simple riffs. There is nothing where we are trying to show off musicality or our musical prowess. It's just because it's there because it's right.
It's been a long journey for all of us on this album, and so many great moments, so many lows, like all kinds of stuff. Like we've rediscovered each other in this time, gotten to know each other so much better, all of that. So it just made the most sense, like just how that song panned out, the ease in which it was the ease in which it was written.
While we were just jamming, I had this chordy part, which was like.
Which just came out of nowhere. It was just this jam. Like, Baba was just hitting his guitar as hard as possible. I was beating my drums as hard as possible, and it just happened.
And Aditya was like, let's just play it like this. And that's when we realized we had the ending to the album itself.
The last part, my horn of light will pierce your body once again. I knew that I had to have Sanit just scream that part out, and it sounds beautiful. It's like the best part of the song, the best way to end the album, and that guitar riff that's playing in the background, that's poof, like that.
And it is the most fitting end to the album, because that last riff will haunt you till the next album comes out.
So the working title was
I Will Fake Dega. I Will Fake Dega.
I Will Fake Dega became Unicorn Man after the story, which became DIY, and now it's called Light Shall Conquer.
Venki had a plastic bag on him. I think so. I think he had a plastic bag on him which he wanted thrown away, and it was lying next to Rahul. And
Rahul said that in his classic English English combination where he was supposed to throw something, and he said it very naturally.
Rahul said, "No, don't worry, I will fake Dega."
And for some reason, it just sounded like a threat.
I don't know, like that. Like, yeah, okay, fuck off. The album's over now.
Don't try this at home.
I don't even try it at jam.